Okay, so I'm watching her move, and I think you said it was a mare. If not, I apologize if I'm calling it the wrong sex. But it has a very nice, just plain walk. Legs are very separated. Does pace as it goes faster, but it also does a very nice saddle gait in there because I kind of previewed it. Athletic horse. When cantering, cross canters some. There, it's on the correct lead in the front and the back. Does that little bunny hop stop, very agile. So this horse has talent. It's been sneaking it, you know, pacing under saddle, but very balanced, holding the lead in the back for the most part. And let's see. So at least it can hold the canter, because some pacey horses really can't even canter. But the pacey ones that can canter pretty well are usually athletic and more agile. So that's good news. Let's see if she did it right here. Right there. There, that was a saddle gait. So she can do it loose. So that means she's naturally gaiting well, besides naturally pacing. That's a canter. That was just a bunny hop. That's okay. A lot of horses that are lateral do it. That's the flat walk. Just has to be a little bit faster, but clean separation of the legs. That's your saddle gait. And then it goes into a canter. So that's why I like to see them loose, because then if they're tricksters under saddle, I can see what they can actually do when they're loose and what we can get out of them. So a little trot there. Actually, foxtrot. And then your saddle gait. Just got to smooth it out a little bit. The owner might be upset when she finds out this horse has been hiding stuff for 10 years. So this horse might not be that hard to train to trot if they wanted it to trot, because she can do it. She's just a little bit more prone to go that lateral direction, but she's very talented. So this is the speed of your flat walk. I could see if we can get her a little bit faster. I'll see what you do as you come back and forth. So you look like you're looking up. It's a little far away. I'm trying to get this closer to it. But that's the correct football. She's got a nice head shake in there. And she's just got to be a tiny bit faster. She actually got faster towards the end. So you see her head shaking up and down. Her legs are all separated. It's a 4-beat gait, so all that's very nice. If as she gets faster, she gets pacey, then we might want to bring her head down more, and we want to make sure she knows how to give to the bit really well, so you can adjust her if needed, because if you can't ask them to bring their head down, you can't really adjust them that well. So there she was good. She started off, it looked like a saddle gait, and then you got that little bounce in the saddle because then she went more towards a step pace and a pace. That's back to your more of a flat walk. There you start going more towards the saddle gait, and then the horse goes into that step pace. So it's really not that bad. Now you're back to your flat walk. So I would just make sure this horse knows how to do lateral flexion and vertical flexion. I'll send you those videos. So if the horse doesn't, that's the first thing I would teach the horse to do, because then that will allow you to adjust this horse so much more. There she's going a little bit faster. but still a flat walk, but she picks her legs up very well. Doesn't look like it would be a trippy horse or anything like that. So the first gait, I think, is very good. Yep, you're sitting up well. It looks like your body's in the correct position. Again, it's a little bit far away, but from what I can see, everything looks pretty good. So here you're going just a little bit faster, and then that horse starts going more towards a saddle gait. So that was quite good. Many times when they start to get pacey, it's because they're inverting their back a fair amount, like bringing it into a U. But there you're going towards the saddle gait and you were okay, and then just hit a pace right there. So this horse has talent. It's more controlling the speed. And then as we're starting to get faster with the horse, it'll be trying to move the shoulders or the body over a little bit to help that horse separate its legs better. But it's not a very hard pacing horse. So that's quite good right there. You did pretty well. So right here you're doing okay, and then she goes into a hard pace right there. You'll see you bouncing in the saddle, but not bad. And it's because as you're speeding up, the horse's head is up, so the back is inverted, and it's much easier for the horse to swing their legs when they do that. So what we got to do is bring that horse's head down before you're asking for more speed. So here again, you're going for more speed. There's that little bounce in the saddle. Now you're back towards your flat. So I want you to watch what's going on here. You're fine. Then you pick up speed. The horse's head comes right up and inverts its back. That's why you're getting the pace. Okay, so that's just a still picture of when the horse is going into a pace. So this is what I want you to do. So first I want you to teach the horse lateral flexion and vertical flexion. I'll send you a video on that. Get that horse so it understands when you put pressure on both reins, the horse understands to bring its head down. So the only reason this horse is going more towards the pace and the step pace is because the head is up and then the horse inverts its back. Okay, so I went back and read your message. So you said the horse is in a wonder bit. I would take it out of the wonder bit. And I'm going to send you links of a bit I would recommend. So a shank will help you to get the horse's head down faster, and you can be lighter with your hands than you can in a snaffle. Something like a miler bit will help a lot. The shorter shanks, which are more mild, you still have to be pretty good with your hands and might have to be in the horse's mouth some consistently in the beginning to get the head down. Otherwise, the longer shank, you're lighter with the hands, but it'll help you to get the horse's head down faster. So I'll send you links to both. But I can tell you, if you're someone who rides with a soft hand and I don't see you pulling or anything very hard, then the longer shank will probably get this fixed pretty fast. But again, still, you first have to teach the lateral flexion and the vertical flexion. Then I would walk the horse around and just try to keep its head down consistently. And in the beginning, we want to do this over and over again so the horse understands when you put pressure on its mouth, it's supposed to bring its head down. When it's bringing its head down, we want that head, you see it's up towards your chest right here? We want that head way down here. So you want to keep the head below the top of the saddle right here, okay? What that'll do, if that horse gets the head down, and it doesn't need to be way tucked in, it just needs that head down so it relaxes its neck and its back. Because what it's doing is you're going faster, even though this horse is talented and keeps its legs separated in the beginning. As you go faster, it tenses up that neck and the back, which then makes the horse, or it's doing it, swing the legs more instead of placing the legs on the ground. So placing the legs on the ground would get you that saddle gait, but swinging those legs and inverting the back gets you the pace. So if we get that head down and get that horse to relax and be able to work at a walk with the head down, then as you go faster, you can keep that head down with more consistent contact, and then the horse will stay much smoother. So when this horse flat walks, you do pretty good, and the head's up, and normally that would be fine. That's back to your more of a flat walk. But for now, since we're trying to get a point across and teach this horse, we want to keep its head down all the time. And then once we consistently can get this gait, then as you're gaiting, if the horse brings its head up, but it keeps itself in gait and is not step pacing or pacing, then we don't care so much where the head is. And that's the different part with gaited horses. We don't care so much if their head is up or down as long as they're smooth. But this horse is going to be smoother with its head a little bit lower. So I would work it at a walk, keeping its head down. Then I would work it at that flat walk, 5 minutes each direction, keeping the head down. And then I would go to your saddle gait. As you go to that saddle gait, I would work this horse in a big 20-meter circle, which you can see in my arena videos. And that will put some bend in the horse because you're going to bend it around the circle. You're going to bring its head down and then slowly increase your speed from your flat walk up to that next gait. And what you should feel in the saddle is not a bounce up and down. It should feel completely smooth, or you'll feel a little wiggle back and forth. It'll kind of go like this. So you'll just be wiggling back and forth in the saddle. And if you turn around and that horse is gaiting, what you'll see is its tail will bounce up and down as it's doing the gait. So the tail's moving some there. It actually jiggled a little bit at the end when you stopped, and that's the motion you want to see. So to me, it just doesn't look like the horse's neck and back is relaxed enough to get the gait we're trying to get. So we got to get that relaxation first. Get that head down, get the back and neck to relax, get the horse consistent in the walk and the flat walk. Just do that and don't do the saddle gait for anywhere from a couple of days to a week. Just really get that set in, work in the arena at leg yielding, making lots of circles. If you know how to do shoulder in, do that. And then after you can do all that stuff and keeping that horse's head down, then what I want you to do is when you go in and you do your arena work, then do your flat walk, 5 minutes each direction. And then when you go to speed up, stay in a circle, ask for that speed, keep that horse's head down. As soon as you go, if it feels smooth or a little wiggle in the saddle, after you get a couple of steps, I want you to stop, scratch the horse. You can give it a cookie. You want to give it a reward so the horse knows that's what you want it to do. And then sit there for like a minute. And then I want you to try it again. Walk off, go back to your flat walk first, maybe flat walk halfway around the arena, and then ask for your speed again in a circle. And as you do that, then ask for more steps. So if the horse stays smooth now, instead of 5 steps, go for 10 steps. Then stop, give the horse a break, scratch the horse, give it a rest, a couple minutes, and then go back to your flat walk, and then go back up and try your saddle gait again. So you're always trying to go through your flat walk first instead of just popping that horse forward, because we want to kind of be shifting through the gears to help it to stay smooth. And then as it gets better, you can go further and further for longer periods of time. Don't add any more speed in until we consistently can hold that saddle gait, keep that horse's head down. And we've been doing that with the horse Disco, the spotted saddle horse. He trotted instead of paced, but he did have his head way up. So we had to get that head down and consistently get him to keep his head down. And now he can gait with his head down or his head up, and now we can adjust his head, which then helps us to adjust his back and make him smoother. As these horses go into that step pace, if you've got the head down but you're still getting that little bump in the saddle, then we try to leg yield, which you can do in the circle. You can kind of spiral it out and spiral it in, or we can do a little shoulder in. If as you half halt, this horse is slowing down too much, it means your half halt is a little bit too hard and you're not using enough leg. So you want to do like half of the amount of pressure that you're doing with your half halt. So you really got to concentrate on what you're doing and then use a little bit more leg, and that should help the horse to keep going. If that doesn't, then you could carry a dressage whip, and as you're half halting, if the horse is slowing down too much, you could wiggle that stick a little bit or give it a little tap behind your leg so the horse knows to keep going. So that should fix that part, but it does take some time and patience and practice to get it, but you will get it. Don't give up. This horse has talent. It's just been hiding it, and it's actually going to have a really nice saddle gait going on. So I'll send you some video of saddle gait so you know what I'm talking to as well. And we just got to get it to do what it was doing loose and hold it for a longer period of time, because when this horse was loose, it mostly paced, and when it did the saddle gait, it only did it for a couple of steps. Then it went back to pacing because that's easier. So we know we can do it. We just got to get this horse to relax its neck and back, to get better conditioned, and then to be able to hold that gait more. The other thing you can do is while you're flat walking or while you're getting the horse ready to ride is lunge it over poles or ride it over poles like you see in a lot of my videos. And you can set it up like a clock at 12, 3, 6, and 9, and just ride a circle around it. That will help that horse to learn to keep its legs separated. And then as you go faster, you can kind of have poles around your arena. And if you're leg yielding and that's not working and you're moving the shoulders and you're like, it's still darn bumpy, then go over the pole, and the pole should help to separate that horse's legs. If it immediately goes back to pacing, then you put more poles. Put a pole, and then about 10 feet later, put another pole, 10 feet later, put another pole, and you can ride back and forth over the poles. So there's lots of things you can do to help this horse. If you're motivated, I would do them all. If you're not, then the first thing to do is just get that horse's head down and relax the back, and that might make a huge difference for you. But you look like a good rider. Position-wise, everything looks good. If you do another lesson, if possible, ride closer to the camera so I can see everything a little bit better, because I can't really blow it up with the phone or it gets real blurry. Body position-wise, since this horse is a little on the pacey side, you could tilt just a little bit more forward with your pelvis, kind of like hunt seat, because I know that's a hunter jumper trainer who had this horse. So tilt your pelvis a little bit more forward, and that might help that horse to get the gait. But speed-wise, you're doing pretty good. In other words, you're not going super fast, so it's not hard pacing. I think you're going the correct speed. It's just getting that horse's head down, the back relaxed, and then doing some lateral movements and keeping that horse going so it doesn't come back to a walk. And I think you're going to have a gait that you're really going to enjoy.